Thank you so much for attending my presentation on why Regice makes no sense, and first I actually want to talk about ice types as a whole. The ice type is, without a doubt, the most polarizing type in Pokemon. It's one of the best offensive types, hitting the common grass, ground, flying, and dragon for super effective damage. But even with this, ice types have struggled immensely throughout the years, and that's mostly because of its defensive profile. Unlike any other type in the game, ice resists only itself, making it significantly harder for them to pivot in. Even though they want to dish out damage, it's difficult for ice types to get into situations where they can in the first place. But there have been successful ice types. Pokemon like Chien-Pao and Galarian Darmanitan were able to use their speed and offensive stats to mitigate these weaknesses and get banned from OU. So if you were wanting to make a good ice type, you'd probably want to be fast and strong, ideally with a second type to give it some sort of defensive value. So let's take a look at Regice, and Jesus fuck, why did they do this? Regice has some of the best defensive stats in the game, but with the debilitating mono ice type attached, it struggles to actually stick around long. Regice is also extremely slow, and when paired with mediocre at best attacking stats, it's a mystery how this slip past playtesters. Well, okay, this is bad, but its move pool can save it. If it has hazards, recovery, maybe a pivot move, it could probably find a niche in higher powered formats. Unfortunately for Regice, it is one of the shittiest move pools I've ever seen. Like, this guy has nothing. Its best offensive move is either Ice Beam or Explosion, which sounds fine, but those explosions are coming off of 50 base attack, and even Ice Beam isn't very strong. It's completely left out to dry everywhere else as well. Hazards? Nothing. Setup moves? Have fun running fucking Amnesia Regice. Pivot moves? Explosion. As the final nail in the coffin, Regice lacks any kind of reliable recovery option. If it had access to recovery, it would at least be able to stay healthy on its own merit. Now it either has to rely on Rest, which can be blown up by offensive threats and setup Pokemon, and Ice Body. And when your best recovery options are Rest and Ice Body, have fun doing anything on defense. So what has Regice done? Well, surprisingly, it was OU for one generation, that being the third. Unnerfed Explosion, coupled with defenses that hadn't been power crept yet, let it pivot in, take some damage, boom, and die. After that, it's essentially dropped off a cliff. For the past 3 generations, Regice has been floundering at the bottom, not even able to get meaningful usage in fucking PU. Even though Terra will let it shed its ice typing for the first time ever, it would take a miracle for it to make any waves anywhere. In conclusion, Regice is one of the worst designed Pokemon of all time. Even with some of the best defensive stats ever, Regice still needs a moveset overhaul to even consider getting anything done, and at this point, I'm afraid it'll never happen. Thank you so much for watching.